Welcome to the first edition of Stories That Connect Us, brought to you by the American Space's U.S. Mission, Nigeria. This is a short podcast about the book discussion held at American Spaces in Nigeria. Check our YouTube channel, American Spaces Nigeria. You will see how American history has greatly impacted our world through literatures. Relax as we listen to four distinguished professors on the book discussion program. Topic of the book is The Way to Wealth by Benjamin Franklin.
And just a quick note for everyone listening, these books, like Franklin's, they're often found on Library USA. So, visit an American Space near you to gain access to the Library USA platform. It's a fantastic resource.
Absolutely. So yeah, Professor Martha Egenti led this team, four discussants from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Akaweka. And today, we're really going to try and unpack the incredible sort of timeless wisdom they pulled from Benjamin Franklin's 1758 essay, The Way to Wealth.
It's fascinating, isn't it? They didn't treat it like some dusty old text. Right from the start, they framed it as a timeless book of wisdom, almost like a blueprint for success that still works today.
Yeah, and Franklin used those fictional voices, right? Richard and Poor Richard.
Exactly. Poor Richard. It made the advice feel more grounded, more approachable, and the core of it, really, it's just this treasure trove of aphorisms, proverbs, advice that has seriously stood the test of time. Remember, this was written way back in 1758.
Incredible. And they weren't just talking about it, were they? I heard they used some kind of reflective worksheet.
Yeah, they did, which I think was brilliant. It pushed everyone to actually think, okay, how does this apply to my life right now? Not just nodding along to old sayings.
So where do they start? What was the foundational piece?
Well, they jumped right into what really underpins everything else in Franklin's philosophy, the value of time. You just can't replace it.
Ah, yes. The classic, time is money. Everyone knows that one.
Right. But they dug deeper than the cliche. The point isn't just about earning wages per hour. It's that lost time. You never, ever get it back. Money lost, maybe you can earn it again. But time.
Gone forever.
Exactly. And that's where the practical stuff came in. They talked about needing a schedule, like a real daily to-do list.
To make sure every minute counts.
Precisely. The idea is to be intentional, avoid wasting time on what Franklin apparently called frivolity.
Frivolity. That sounds old-fashioned, but I get it. Like mindless scrolling or things that don't really move you forward.
Yeah, anything that doesn't align with your goals, your purpose, or even just, personal growth. It really comes down to intentionality. If you don't have a plan for your time, you're kind of guaranteed to waste some of it. It takes discipline.
Which flows perfectly into the next point, doesn't it? Hard work.
Yeah.
Valuing time means you got to fill it productively.
Yep. The old no pain, no gain. The professors were unanimous on this. Nothing truly good comes easily. You absolutely have to put in the work.
No shortcuts.
None. They talked about effort, persistence, and again, that word, intentionality. These aren't optional extras for success. They're requirements. And the flip side is just as true.
Laziness leads to
poverty. Franklin was blunt about it, and the discussants agreed. Doesn't matter how smart you are, laziness is a dead end.
Wow. Okay, so there was a really practical example of this time management thing, right, Professor?
Oh, yeah, that was a great story. He admitted he's an insomniac, struggles with sleep.
Which sounds like a problem, something that would waste time or at least energy.
Right. Most people would focus on the negative. But he decided, okay, if I'm awake anyway, I'm going to use this time. He turned those sleepless hours into reading time, into self-improvement.
Converting a negative into a positive? That's smart.
It's pure Franklin, maximizing every resource, even unexpected ones. And his takeaway message for the audience was powerful. He said something like, this particular context we are sitting in today will never repeat itself.
Wow, that really lands. This moment right now is unique. Use it or lose it.
Exactly, which kind of shifts us naturally into the next big area, managing your finances. Because that's really just managing the resources you gain from your time and effort.
And Franklin's advice there was, live simply.
And that famous warning, beware of little expenses.
It's not just the big splurges that get you.
No, it's the small, constant drains. He used that amazing metaphor. Small leaks sink big ships. Think about today, the daily coffee, the subscriptions you forget about, those little impulse buys.
They add up fast.
They really do. Franklin was basically arguing against, wastefulness, what he might call frugality gone wrong, or rather the lack of frugality. And he was big on delaying gratification.
Ah, the classic marshmallow test idea. Wait for the bigger reward.
Sort of, yeah. The professors put it like this. If you have, say, 10 naira, do you buy something quick that's gone in a minute? Or do you invest it in something, maybe a skill, maybe a tool that could potentially pay you back many times over? That choice, repeated daily, shapes your financial future.
That makes sense. And didn't Professor Odinye have a personal example of this, living simply, something about clothes?
Yes. That was fantastic. She said she cuts her coat according to her purpose, not her size or, current fashion trends.
According to her purpose. I like that.
Right. So she avoids expensive, trendy clothes that are really just about showing off. Instead, she actually makes some of her own simple clothes, saves money, focuses on function over flash. It's about self-sufficiency beating the need for external approval.
That takes discipline, too.
Yeah.
Which brings us to debt, I suppose. Franklin had some strong words about borrowing.
Oh, definitely. Stark words. He said a borrower is usually a slave to the lender. Pretty harsh.
Yeah, especially today when debt is, well, almost normal for many people. Student loans, credit cards, mortgages.
True. And that's where Dr. Buckway added some really important nuance. He wasn't saying all debt is automatically terrible.
Okay, so what's the distinction?
It's about why you're borrowing. Debt for consumption, buying things that lose value, like fancy gadgets or holidays you can't afford. That's the trap Franklin warned about. Avoid it.
What?
If you have to borrow, it should be strictly for production, for something that will generate more value than the debt costs you.
So borrowing isn't a lifestyle choice. It's a strategic investment tool.
Exactly. And Dr. Beckway set a high bar. He said the goal should be a significant return on that borrowed money, maybe 100% to 300%.
Whoa, 100 to 300%. That sounds incredibly high. Is that realistic?
Well, think about it this way. Borrowing for a car, that's consumption. The car loses value. Borrowing for, say, a high-level IT certification that lets you immediately start earning double or triple your previous income through remote work.
Ah, okay. That's production debt. The return isn't just money, it's skills, access to better markets.
Precisely. It's an investment in your earning potential. And making those kinds of decisions requires strong character, which was the next major theme they explored.
Right, the internal stuff, starting with self-discipline.
Yeah, conquering your passions, controlling your desires. It sounds kind of grand, but the examples were very down to earth.
Like what?
Like managing the urge to just roll over and sleep when you know you have important work to do. Or controlling those impulse buys the constant need for that shawarma, like one professor joked about. Or other treats that offer instant pleasure but derail your budget or health goals.
If you can't manage the small urges, how can you manage the big goals?
Exactly. And that discipline, practiced daily, builds consistency. That was the next key idea. Franklin's proverb for this one is beautiful. Little strokes fell great oak.
So it's not about huge, dramatic efforts necessarily.
Rarely. Success, according to the discussion, usually comes from those small, consistent daily habits, just doing the thing day in, day out, even when you don't feel like it. We love the myth of the overnight success, but Franklin reminds us it's built brick by brick, often unseen.
And they have that killer quote, consistency beats talent.
Yes, that's such a powerful insight. They use the example of someone with amazing natural talent, maybe a singer.
But if they don't practice?
They can easily be overtaken by someone less naturally gifted, but who shows up and practices diligently every single day. That consistent effort builds skill, resilience, credibility. Talent is great, but consistency is a choice. And usually, the choice wins.
Okay, so discipline, consistency.
Yeah.
What else builds that strong character?
Integrity, the absolute bedrock. The belief here is simple but profound. Honesty is the best policy.
The classic.
And maybe even more importantly, a good name is better than riches. Your reputation, the trust people have in you, that's the ultimate currency. You have to build it intentionally over time through fair and honest actions.
Because if people trust you, they'll back you, even without money.
Absolutely. They'll lend to you, invest in you, hire you. A good reputation opens doors that money alone can't.
Which leads us really nicely, actually, to the final big takeaway, which feels incredibly relevant right now, investing in knowledge.
Yes. This is where Franklin, writing in 1758, sounds like he's talking directly to us in the age of AI. His line, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest.
You really can't beat that return.
You can't. And the professor stressed how crucial this is today. You have to constantly be relearning, unlearning, and relearning. If you stop learning your skills, your knowledge capital, it depreciates so fast, especially with technology changing everything.
You've got to stay curious, stay hungry for knowledge.
Absolutely, because that self-investment truly does pay the best interest in terms of your future opportunities and security.
And Dr. Ebekue had some very specific advice on this for young people, right?
Yeah.
About the best kind of knowledge investment. now.
He did. Very focused. He argued the smartest investment you can make in yourself right now is getting a high-value, portable IT skill. Think blockchain, project management, coding, development, skills that are in demand globally.
Because that plugs you into remote work, a global economy.
Exactly. It lets you potentially earn in stronger currencies, gives you flexibility, and kind of insulates you from purely local economic ups and downs. But he also made this really interesting connection to a local system.
Ah, the boy system.
That's the one, the traditional Nigerian apprenticeship model. Young people learn a trade, business skills, build connections under a master for years. Sometimes they get startup capital at the end, sometimes not.
But even without the cash.
Well, even without the cash, Dr. Ebekue pointed out, they gain invaluable knowledge capital. They learn how the business works, build a network. That practical knowledge is often more valuable for long-term success than just getting a lump sum of money with no experience.
So the real investment is in the learning, the skills, maybe getting certifications that prove what you know.
Yeah.
Especially for things like freelancing online.
Precisely. Pay for the training, get the certificate, build the skills. That's the foundation. It's about prioritizing that knowledge acquisition over chasing quick money schemes that rarely last. It all comes back to that core message. Intentional effort, building valuable knowledge over hoping for easy wins.
It really does tie everything together. Discipline, consistency, integrity, investing in yourself.
And that's why Franklin's advice still hits home. Dr. Ebekue summed it up perfectly. He said the advice from 1758 is still spot on in 2025 because the fundamental laws of life, economics, and success haven't really changed.
The world looks different, but the principles remain the same.
Exactly. It just underscores the profound power of living intentionally based on these enduring principles.
Fantastic insights. Lot to think about there. See you soon at the next edition of this program.